Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Isn't it great to be molding the vision? Isn't it great? Welcome back to lesson 13, or lesson 3 in module 3, post-production. Let's kind of go over what we've kind of learned. Not kind of learned, what we have learned. Okay, so we're here. We've gone over how to create a project in Premiere Pro. We've talked about importing the files. We've talked about creating the timeline. Creating the timeline. See, I'm Southern. Very Southern. We talked about pulling the files into the timeline, and then we put together our initial cuts, and we've found our music and our sound effects, what we want to use to help tell the story and build that emotional pull into the story. So, what are we missing? Let's find out. This one's all about graphics, finding graphics and using royalty-free footage to help supplement your story. All right, so what do I use for royalty-free footage, and where do I get my graphics from? Well, there are a couple of options that I use. First off, I use story blocks. You can use story blocks. You can use motion array. Artlist is a great one. Also, you can use Pexels.com. Pexels is a really good one. Pexels is a free version, or is free, royalty-free stuff. You just need to give credit to the creator of the files in your credits or description. So let's jump over into the screen capture. So here's what I've pulled over. I've got these. I have this seed sprouting out of the ground. Where did I find this? I found this at Storyblocks. That's what happens when I drink energy drinks. I get weird. All right. So this clip right here was found on Storyblocks. So let's jump over there. Boom. Hello. How are you? But first, let's jump over to motion arrays. Let's kind of search. Now, granted, you're going to have an account to Storyblocks to get this footage. You could go the other route and create your own stock footage. That is an option. Granted, based on your story. Storyblocks is, I think, like $70 a month for footage, graphics, or photos. Templates like After Effects, Premiere Pro templates, and audio. They do offer different music. But again, like I said in the other one, I do like to use Epidemic Sound, and I like what they have to offer. So let's jump over into the timeline here. Okay, so we're back over here in the timeline, and we have found our stock footage. So let's just do this again. Let's pull this out, drop it in. Oh man, look at there. Look at that. So what's going on here? It's too long. But you saw in the footage that it was perfect. It was fitting perfectly. All you got to do is go to speed, right click, go to speed duration, and then change your speed to 300. We did that already in in the first lesson for Premiere Pro, and to make it fit. And so there we go. It fits perfectly now. Now, you've got your stock footage. Let's jump over to this right here. Ta-da. This graphic here. Now, you can go back over to Storyblocks to see if they've got any images. That would be good for your sermon bumper to be like the final graphic, to talk about like the sermon series graphic. Seed sprout. But what I did was I used CoPilot. CoPilot is owned by Microsoft. It utilizes ChatGPT and DALL-E 3 to create my my graphic that I wanted to create. Now, I did add the text here on the screen. I used Photoshop to add that on, but I'm going to show you how to do that in Premiere Pro so you can keep everything in one software. All right. So now what does that look like? So we've gone to, let's go into, so I've created a session already. And so let's create a new session here. Go back to CoPilot to the top, new topic. Now, I like to use GPT-4 Creative, and I will ask it to create a picture of a seed sprouting out of the ground with 4 leaves. The seed is in a field. And so there we go. We've got some seed sprouting. They've popped up. And so let's look at the 4 selections of what we asked it to create. Let's see, there's that one. That's cool. What about this one? But it's not 4. It looks like 5. But here's what I kind of asked it to do. Let's see. But I kind of like it. So here's what I do is just go to this little thing right here, click that, download it. And let's send this to my SSD. And let's name this seed out ground. So let's pull this over. So there you go. You see it's right there in my file. So I'm just going to click this and just drag it in. You can also, over here, you can also go into import at the very left top of the screen of Premiere Pro. Click import right beside the the home button. Go down to your SSD or to your storage. Click that and import. So there we go. And it's in a bin. So let's grab this and drag it in to our timeline. So do this, and it's not completely filling the screen. Let's go delete that. So what we can do to scale that up is go over to the very top of the screen and to the left It's called Effect Controls. Click that. Once your file is highlighted in the timeline, you can control the scale. You can change the position if you want it there, but I want it right there. Perfect. Okay, so we've got our graphic. Awesome. Let's extend that out, and to extend it out, all you got to do is grab at the either side of the file and just drag to the length you want. Okay, so we found our graphic. We found our stock footage. We've pulled it in. We sped up this stock footage to fit the timeline. And now we've got our sermon series graphic. So let's go over to here, the very top, called Workspaces. I should have went over there. I should have went over this in lesson 1. So over here, right here, this is where all your workspaces are. So I'm in editing right now. I'm going to go down to captions and graphics. Over here in essential graphics side on the right side, you've got all these different little templates that I've already dragged in from other things I've worked on in the past. But we're not going to focus on that right now. We're going to focus on the type tool. The hotkey is T, just T. We want to name this Plant the Seed. Over here in the Essential Graphics area, you can change the font if you don't like this font. Let's see. What font do I like to use? What do I like to use for this? Conor? Nope. Crokinor. Jonathan? No, it's a little too... Let's see. I kind of like that. Let's bring this in. And let's see if will it bold? No, it won't bold. All right, it's fine. Now you can also once you install Premiere Pro, these little things right here are not going to be there. To add those in, you just click this plus sign right here, and you can drag in your safe margins right here. We're going to drag that in. Boom. Press OK, and we're going to activate it. So this right here is to let you see how it's going to look like on camera. These borders here, so the key, like the rule of thumb is this right here is 720. This inside line right here is 720p, and this inside line right here is 1080p. It's so that any monitor that you use you'll be able to see the text, and the screen won't cut off your video, okay, and it won't cut off your text. So I suggest not to go past the top line right here. I like to keep it right here, and if it's a little off, you can also go to the alignment and transform area, and you can change it to where you want it. So like all these cool things. Lines it right there. Boom. So we're just going to drag this back up to the top, line it back up right there, hit that, make sure it's right in the center. And I like this font. Let's bring it up a bit. Let's raise it up a bit. Make it bigger. Plant the seed. Now, it's kind of being washed out by the sun here. What can we do there? Easy. Easy. We can do it. We can add a shadow to make it pop off the screen. So there you go. We're gonna make it pop. So there you go. It stands out more when it's in front of a bright background. Now we want to add the scripture reference of this. So we're going to up here. All you got to do is click this right here. It's a new layer in Essential Graphics. A little drop down menu will come down and click text. So there you go. There's a new text layer. So let's go ahead and put in our text. Luke 8, 5 through 15. And let's change this up. Let's go. Lato. There we go. And let's make it bold. No. It's not going to work. Hero? No, I don't like hero. Now, I highly suggest that you, on your project, what you do is you test to see how you like it. Share it with your leadership to see how they like it. This whole thing is, this whole process, every process here is collaborative. So even after you do your edit, your first draft, they might want changes. And, well, there you go. You need to change it. I suggest that you work with your leadership to see what they like. Let's go with Arial. Let's just go with Arial. Boom. Done. I like that. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And there we go. Make sure that's done. Now, once you're going to have to do a cross dissolve between these two files, between this right here and this right here. You've got two layers right on top of each other. What I do is I highlight both, I right click, and then I nest. Let's name this. All right, and there's our nest. And so now you can add a Command D, Control D, cross dissolve. Cancel. Boom. Done. There you go. There you go. Just as easy as that. Easy as pie, as some might say. All right. Well, I've gone over a little bit about titles and graphics. I've shown you what I do on a constant basis. I do this all the time. But I also use Photoshop too. But we're not going over to over Photoshop in this course. So we can do it. Premiere Pro is so powerful that you can do everything in one software. The Adobe Creative Cloud does allow you to use dynamic bridge between After Effects and Premiere Pro and Photoshop. And Adobe Audition as well. Adobe Audition is like Logic or Pro Tools, but Adobe's version. It's really powerful. Anything Adobe makes is very, very powerful software. But for this right here, for this sake right here, we're just gonna end it here. And I really suggest that you go and practice. Really start diving into the software. Start messing around with it, like experimenting with your project, because this is your project. All right, I'll see you next time.